Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapAndMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And it is Sunday, January 5th, 2020, and we're going to make a card today. Yesterday on my Facebook page, I had posted a card, and it wasn't my style, but I actually loved it. And it was two cards. Which do you prefer, this one or this one? And after all of the Stampin' Up! Enthusiasts commented, I switched the card up, and this is what we came up with. And I loved the card so much that it was like, okay, let's do a video tutorial on how to make this card. It's super easy, it's clean, I love it, and I hope you will too. So, and it's using new product. So let's get started and get over to my desktop and we'll start making this card. Okay, so we are going to be using the Dressed to Impress stamp set, which is new in the 2020 mini catalog. And we're going to be using the perfume bottle and the Hello Fabulous. And the good thing with this stamp set is it coordinates with this die. And that's the one I just used. So we're going to be using the perfume bottle. It's got the shoe, lipstick, it's got a banner. This is a pocket for a purse. This and this are flowers. These are buttons, buckles, a strap, and this large one is a purse. And if you use two of those, and I brought it up. Where did I put it? Hold please while I pull it out. Sorry, I had put it, I thought I had it on my desk, but I didn't. It was on the shelf. So if two of these large ones make up this purse, isn't that cute? So that's the pocket front. There's a button. It's easier to tell in the back. These are the buckles, the purse buckles. This holds 3x3 note cards. When you have the purse like this, it's more like a tote. Then you can fold it in to make it more like a bag. And then if you take these straps and do them this way, it becomes a knapsack. So this would be super cute for party favors. Think of bridal shower, a baby shower, that type of thing. So I just wanted to show you what you can make with this large die. So that's that. The other thing we're going to be using, which is probably coming to be one of my favorite in the catalog, is the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And these both come in one bundle. And we're going to be using the second from the largest scalloped stitched die. We're going to be using the, this is in the annual catalog, the Scripty 3D embossing folder. We're going to be using in the new 2020 mini some of the Petal Pink 1/4 inch metallic edge ribbon. And actually, as I was playing with this, I thought, oh, wouldn't that make a great ribbon for breast cancer? Anyhow, so yeah, so we're going to be using that. We're going to use a glue dot, embossing buddy, some gold embossing powder, dazzling diamonds, fine tip glue, Versamark, crumb cake ink with a sponge, some dimensionals, and the hot heat emboss gun. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're going to do to start off with, this is just a scrap piece of paper from the Stamparatus that I'm using on this. And we are going to, in the bottom right hand corner, take your embossing buddy, and we are going to rub the embossing buddy over the bottom right hand corner. And that just takes off any oils, any static, so that when you emboss, you get a nice clean embossed image and you don't have any of the gold fibers, loose stray gold fibers. And then that's the gold embossing powder. I'm going to take the Versamark and the Hello Fabulous stamp, and we are going to stamp that in the bottom right hand corner, and we are then going to emboss it in the gold. And before I do anything else, I'm going to cover up that thing of gold embossing powder because I don't want it to fall. And now we're going to take the heat emboss gun and we're going to emboss the stamp, or the stamped image. So we're going to heat it up from the back and from the front, and you will see the start to melt. There it starts to go. There's the hello, fabulous, and it's all melted. One thing I should have done is put the lid on that. And so there is the hello fabulous, and you'll see how it has got a shine. There we go. It's all shiny now. If you do not have a gold embossing powder, the heat gun, and you want a similar effect, you can use just stamp it in, I'd say soft suede, and you'll get a similar type of effect. Next, we are going to take the scalloped piece that I've already cut and embossed. So cut it first, then emboss it. If you emboss and then cut, you will flatten down all of the image when you run it back through the die cutting machine. So cut first, then emboss. And we are going to take crumb cake and my sponge, and we are going to start on the outside edge of the paper and sponge in towards the center. If you did it the other way around, there's more, you could get a hard line, you could get a blob. So if we start on the outside and bring it in, you're getting rid of the ink on the paper and then bringing in a smaller amount onto the page, onto your stamp embossed image. And then you can actually go back over it again and just emboss the edges a little bit more, not emboss, color the edges a little bit more to give it a more weathered look. And then I'm taking, because our image is going to be sort of here, I'm leaving some white space, and that will just give you a little bit more depth when you put that on like that. Let me just do a little bit more. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, and now we're going to adhere that to the front of the card like that with dimensionals. And we're going to put dimensionals on all four corners and one in the middle so that it doesn't flatten out or sink. I love dimensionals. Dimensionals and glitter. Those are two things I think that I put on every card, and it doesn't have to be. Elizabeth, look at this. I've got a little bit of ink here. I must have ink on my hands. So I'm going to cheat. 1 second, please. And I'm just going to trim that off a little bit. I must have had some ink on my fingers. Yeah, I do. I have ink on my fingers. So I cheated a little bit. I just took a little snip off. And now we're going to adhere this. If you're wondering, that cutter that I used, it's an old Stampin' Up! Trimmer, and I love it. I still use it. Okay. I'm going to actually just take a baby wipe and wipe off my fingers so I don't get any more unwanted ink. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to take the perfume bottle, which I've already cut. I've already stamped, embossed, and cut. And I'm going to take that and put dimensionals on it as well. And I'm making sure I got a dimensional on the neck of that so it doesn't sink. And we're going to adhere that like this. Okay. Now we're going to take the fine tip glue and the Dazzling Diamonds, and we are going to add to the top of the perfume bottle, and in this section we're going to add some fine tip glue, and then cover it in Dazzling Diamonds. The first card I did, I also added some Dazzling Diamonds to this a decorative element of the top of the bottle, but when I went to add the ribbon, it wouldn't stick very well. So if you're not adding a ribbon, then yeah, sure, go ahead and add Dazzling Diamonds to that as well. But if you are going to add a ribbon, it just makes life a lot easier if you don't put any fine tip glue or Dazzling Diamonds to that section. Okay, now I'm going to cover it in fine tip glue. The fine tip glue is great. I love it. If you're doing something with a water scene, you can use the fine tip glue and just let it dry on its own without adding anything to it, and you'll get a puddle look, puddle effect. But you know, if you do want a little bit of shimmer in that puddle, sprinkle it with a little bit of fine tip of the Dazzling Diamonds, and you get sort of like this really sweet puddle look with reflection. So I just put the lid back on the fine tip glue, and there we go. And my well-loved Dazzling Diamonds. I do have a makeup brush that I use. Do I have it here? I do. I use it once it's all dried. I use it and I just, here's the makeup brush, and I run it over so that I get off all those stray pieces of Dazzling Diamonds. Okay, and then the last thing, we're going to take the ribbon, and I'm just making a knot. Da, da. Everyone has their own way of making knots. There's no right, no wrong way. Whatever looks good to you. And yes, I have taken ribbon apart before to redo my knot when I'm not happy with it. Okay, and now just a glue dot. I might actually use 2 glue dots because I don't want this baby going anywhere. Whoops. Okay, now we're going to, I'm going to cut the trim the edges first. I'm winging it as to da, 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 da. Isn't that a cutie? I love this card so much. I'm just can't tell you how many I've made of them. I really like it. So it was super simple to do, super easy to put together. And like I said, if you don't have, trying to do it so that you can see it without a light in the way. If you don't have the gold embossing powder or heat gun, you can use soft suede and you'll get a similar effect. I just like the shine of the embossing, of the gold embossing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a great week, and back to work tomorrow. Bye.